Okay, so this is the recap and review for episodes 3 and 4 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Just so you know, these ones are going to be a little more spoiler heavy than usual. I'm not going to be able to be as vague as I purposely can. Basically because we're talking about everything that happens in the episode, and then I'll give up my thoughts on it. So, yeah, basically, this episode is more of Kenobi and Leia on the run. They're on this, the Kumail Nanjiani character, whose name I completely forgot, got them passage off planet, and they're on this new planet. However, because this bounty has been put out, everyone kind of knows, or at least is looking for them, so they're trying to lay low as best they can. But at some point, an alien Star Wars, a creature named Freck, offers them a ride. He seems really nice, but Obi-Wan Kenobi knows he has an Empire seal on his truck. But Leia is still really nice with him, and that's probably because Freck immediately sells them out when he gets the chance. And as this is happening, the Inquisitors have sent out probe droids, and one of those probe droids arrives too, and that causes Obi-Wan to basically blow their cover and reveal where they are. However, it's then that one of the Imperial officers turns on the stormtroopers and kills all of them, and basically says, look, I'm kind of part of this underground network to get Force-sensitive people to safer spots on the Outer Rim. Basically because, the Empire, to try to prevent, any Jedi from being found, are killing anyone they might suspect to be Force-sensitive. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I guess I need to learn to take a drink every once in a while. Anyway, they, the Empire is alerted. Not only the Inquisitors coming, but they're bringing Darth Vader with them because, in fact, Reva has been in basically not quite Vader's apprentice, but she's trying to apprentice herself to Vader, it appears, and become the new Grand Inquisitor in the process. So, yeah, and that was the big thing I forgot to mention in my last review, that, yeah, Reva let slip that Vader's still alive, and, he's looking for Obi-Wan. And so, while they're trying to hide out in these, Tala, who's the Imperial betrayer, and Leia and Kenobi are in these escape tunnels trying to get to their transport, Vader arrives, he starts wreaking havoc in this town. He starts force choking people, and finally that just says, Obi-Wan's like, I gotta go and face him. You two go on ahead. He faces Vader, and I guess this is the thing that's cheesed off a lot of Star Wars fans, although, Star Wars has never exactly been that great with continuity. Again, as everyone points out, Obi-Wan says, Yoda trained him when he was clearly an apprentice to Qui-Gon Jinn. And then they had to make up for that in episode 2, but you kind of get the idea there. Again, Obi-Wan, when he says, Anakin was this great pilot when I knew him, like, well, you meant when he was 8, how is he a great pilot then? Again, continuity is not exactly the greatest in Star Wars. But yeah, I could kind of understand it a little bit, but at the same time, it doesn't necessarily mean that there couldn't have been another meeting. But yeah, but they have a fight. But again, Vader is actually really dominant in this, including at one point using the Force to start a fire, to spark a fire and pull Obi-Wan into it. And this forces Tala to briefly abandon Leia, and tells her to go onto the transport, and they'll catch up to her because they need to get Obi-Wan to safety. And that just turns out as Reva is waiting at the transport and takes Leia hostage, and that's how the episode ends. So, yeah, like I said, this was really good. I think it definitely heightens everything. Again, getting Vader involved, definitely brings a great old-school flavor to it. Again, you have Obi-Wan trying not to attract too much of his attention, so, he doesn't use the Force that much, he doesn't use his lightsaber, he doesn't do anything that's going to alert to anyone that there's a Jedi here. So, we like the idea. I like the idea that he's still trying to lay low as best he can until eventually his hand is forced, for lack of a better term. And there's also some very nice character interactions between Obi-Wan and Leia. There's a point where Obi-Wan talks about the Force as, the midichlorians allow you to illuminate a dark room, and a dark room in your mind, basically. And he sort of talks about it in that sort of manner. So again, like there's those nice little bits and pieces there. This is definitely a very solid episode. Episode 3 of Obi-Wan Kenobi gets an A.
Episode 1 Racer on Game Boy Color. Get into it!
Yes, again, it is kind of strange that these episodes are just episodes. They're not titled in any way, shape, or form. Like, I believe Mandalorian's episodes were all titled. I know Book of Boba Fett's episodes were all titled. So it's just weird that it's just Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. Anyway, so we're now up to Episode 4 of Obi-Wan. And, this one has more fallout. We get a brief point of where both Obi-Wan and Vader are put into meta-tanks. And you see them kind of having like a shared Force dream a little bit. Like maybe there's actually a Force bridge between the two now, which is kind of cool. And as this is happening, Reva has taken Leia back to the Inquisitor home base planet, which I don't know the name of, unfortunately. And she starts torturing information for where these underground rebel networks are hiding. Like, the rebellion isn't formal just yet. Like, this is, I would even say it's probably before. So, like, I guess if you're going by the timeline, it's Episode 3. This is probably a little concurrent with Star Wars Rebels. Maybe a little, before that. It's probably before Solo. It's obviously way before Rogue One. So, yeah. The idea is that the rebellion is not fully formed just yet, and it's still in its infancy. But you also get a lot, as this is happening, Leia's learning a lot about human sacrifice and what it might take to help restore freedom of the galaxy. So you're getting what's inspiring her to eventually truly lead the rebellion that she winds up doing. But as this is happening, like I said, Reva is trying to torture the information from her. She says Obi-Wan's dead. Obi-Wan isn't. He's alive. But back on his planet, he's trying to convince this network that, hey, we need to go save her. I'll go on my own if I need to, but if I can have help, we can. And so they agree to, but they're going to need to covert smuggle Obi-Wan in, and to do so, they make it look like Tala has been transferred to this base. And I really wish I had remembered the name. And so from there, Tala is able to monitor the computer scanners and everything, so she can figure out where Leia is being held. And as this is happening, Obi-Wan swims his way uses an underwater entrance to get in. He's making his way through, including at one point entering a chamber where there's all of these preserved Jedi, and I don't know if it's quite carbonite, but it's kind of carbonite-like. And you get the idea that these are the Jedi that the Inquisitors have all killed. None of them look particularly familiar, unfortunately. At least, it's been a while since I've watched Clone Wars, so maybe it could be some of them. But, there is at least one youngling in there. And he eventually manages to locate where Leia is being tortured, but he needs to someone to distract. So basically, Tala outs herself to reveal everything, and it distracts Reva enough for Obi-Wan to grab Leia, and they're starting to head out. And they get confronted at one point, but then this backup arrives. These two what you would normally call snow speeders, but there's no snow in this case. Come to provide just enough backup for them to escape. Unfortunately, one gets blown up, and they have to leave. However, when Vader comes back and he's angry at Reva and he starts strangling her, she reveals, no, I put a tracking device on there. And it'll go wherever they go. And that sort of tips off where the tracking device is. It's on Leia's little toy droid Lolo. This little research droid that she has that she's been But it's basically a pet to her, and so it's very dear. And like they didn't even need to show it at the end of the episode. They do, but it's like, yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, gee, I wonder what it could be. You know, especially when she says it will follow them no matter what, so they'll never be able to escape. Gee, I wonder what that could possibly be. Anyway, like I said, this was fun. It was very quick. Like I said, it only being 38 minutes, I think, really helped. So many of these things have been pushing the hour limit, and it's just, there's way too much going on sometimes to try to keep track of everything. And having a nice, tight, you know, sub 40-minute episode really, really helps. And phone goes off, sorry. So yeah, that, again, really helps. I do like the way this is going. I can't wait for these final 2 episodes. Again, I am going to give episode 4 of Obi-Wan Kenobi an A as well. So A is all around here.
The galaxy's most legendary heroes, fearsome villains, and coolest vehicles. Now available to take home and play with at Pizza Hut, KFC, and Taco Bell. Right now, at participating Taco Bell locations, you can get one of these cool Star Wars Episode 1 collectible toys, one in every Taco Bell kids meal you buy.
Okay, again, the next video is going to be the random trade review on Littlest Pet Shop Volume 1. I just did the first episode of Ms. Marvel. And, you know, after that, it's going to be episodes 5 and 6, which will round off Obi-Wan, episodes 2 and 3 of Ms. Marvel. Next film review is going to be Lightyear. See you all next time. Hey guys, remember, you can help support my channel at patreon.com/SleepyTimeForCat Productions, where you can help request a movie, even if it's something like, say, Sonic the Hedgehog or the next Purge film. I'll review it.